Alright guys, once again, welcome to the LPP training webinar tonight. My name is Irby. I'll be your trainer tonight, so I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by. We're going to take about an hour tonight. We're going to go over some basic training tonight. One of the things we did last month was we went through a basic and advanced, and we did a Q&A. And the basic was we basically talked about the mental wealth foundation, and then the advanced we went over a little bit of safe swaps and kind of went into some detail there. What I want to do tonight is just kind of find out where you guys are at tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight we can just go over some basic topics. Tomorrow night we'll go over some more advanced topics, and then we'll summarize everything on Thursday night with a Q&A. But I want to find out, kind of where you're at right now in your business. We can use this time to see if we can, help you get to that next level, get you going, and just kind of go over some things that maybe, you might be struggling with. I know for myself personally, in the past, I would buy all kinds of information products, and I would be a part of different coaching programs, and had a lot of information thrown at me. But you know, sometimes it was way over my head, or my business wasn't ready for that at that point, and it just was overwhelming. Rather than getting the information, getting the things that I need to get my business to the next level, and just kind of go over some things that would help me right then and there. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So let's see if we can get some topics going. I know we don't have a lot of people on tonight, but if we can get some few topics going on some basic topics that could help you get going in your business tonight, then let's do that. We got Chris on here. I know Chris been around for a while. I think, Chris, you were a part of that original group there. Let's see who else we have on here. I think mostly everybody else is brand new. Ray's offline, so let's see we can get a few topics out here. Give me one sec. Let me do a quick refresh, and you guys can post over here in the Facebook group. We can get some things going. So everybody's doing great with their business right now. Nobody has any basic topics that they're struggling with. Swaps, solos, getting their business to 100 clicks. Or are you guys just shy? Is that what it is? I know you're not, Chris. Alright guys, help me out here. Come on guys, we got too much silence here. You're going to force me to have to just... Okay, here we go. Okay, what do you want to learn new, Chris? That's great. So what do you want to learn new tonight? Where are you at right now in your business? How many clicks are you producing? Yes, if you could post the questions right in the Dagan's Facebook group, that would be great. And we're just going to go over basic topics tonight. Tomorrow we'll go into some more advanced topics, but tonight just some basic stuff here tonight. I think you guys might be posting in a 70 clicks. Okay. All right. So how big is your list right now, Chris? I mean, we're 3,500. Okay. And have you been generating leads on a daily basis? Not as much as I would like. Okay. So what's holding you back at this point from being able to do that? To generate leads on a daily basis and get yourself at least to 100 clicks where you can start selling solos. I don't know. Are you selling solos right now? Trusted buyers. Okay. Okay, so you are selling solos. Now, where are you selling these solos at, Chris? Are you selling them in Skype rooms? Are you selling them on Safe Swaps, Warrior Forums, all over the place? Facebook, my website. Okay. All right. One of the things that really helped me, Chris, and I talked about this. I don't know if you had it. I don't know if you were on that webinar. Skype mostly. Okay. Trusted buyers. And when you're talking about trusted buyers, you're talking about people that buy on a consistent basis. Is that what you're referring to when you say trusted buyers? Yes. Okay. All right. All right. Well, first let's deal with being able to get some consistency in your business. Let me just log in here quickly. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at my training I did last month on safe swaps. I don't know if you were on that webinar, but um, this is one of the platforms that I use to really help create consistency in my business and build relationships. One of the things that you have to understand um, with trusted buyers is that um, these people don't really know you. The reason why people buy is for three reasons. Either they know you, like you, or trust you. Okay? Just because they buy 50 or 100 clicks from you doesn't necessarily mean that, they know, like, and trust you. You have to build that relationship with them over time. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. Over delivery is one. Okay, people always like to receive more than they actually purchase. Period. That's one of my strategies, especially early on. When you're just starting out and you're trying to get your business to that next level, at least to 100 clicks or more. Over delivery is definitely a strategy to get these people to know, like, and trust you. Um, Another strategy is just communication with them, just kind of letting them know that you're there to help them, because understand, majority of the people online, and this is offline as well, I would say 95% of them are pretty much struggling in their business. Okay, so if you're there, and I know you've been around for a little bit, you can provide some sort of value to them, to get them to know, like, and trust you outside of just some clicks. I don't know what other skills you might have, but I'm sure you have some things that you can help people with that would kind of build that relationship and get more repeat sales, and so that people would trust you more over time. I know exactly what you're saying, because initially when I got involved back last August, I was kind of thinking this was a little different than selling information products or selling any other product or service, but it's really not. You still have to get people to know, like, and trust you. Yeah, they'll buy 50 or 100 clicks from you, for starters, but you got to give them a good reason to come back to you. And those are two really good ways to get people to come back to you: over delivery, and just building a relationship with them and providing some added value. So that's one of the things that really really helped my business out. Now here's a well, before we move on, did that help you out there? Was that okay? Okay, so we'll thanks. Okay, so I'm not done with you yet. Um, so that's one of the things that you have to understand, is that especially when you're getting started, you're gonna have to add some additional value: over delivery, communication, building relationships. Give them some added value. Okay, um, that can really really you know secure your customer base. Now, here's another thing that you got to understand about the solo ad business. We get a lot of people that they hop in different programs, or they'll buy 50 or 100 clicks, and then they're out of the game, because they didn't get 20 signups. You see that a lot. A lot of people are unrealistic, so they think if they'll hop in Empower Network, they'll buy 100 clicks, they don't get 20 signups out of that. They're not happy, and then they'll move on to somebody else because they think your list is no good. But in actuality, they just haven't given it enough time. They haven't had enough consistency, haven't had enough traffic going to their website over time. So you got to factor that in too. You're going to get some people that they're just not going to come back because of that reason. So don't take that personal at all. The things that you have to focus on a daily basis is building that list. Okay. And one of the ways that really helped me, some people don't like Safe Swap for whatever reason. They don't want to pay any money on a monthly basis. I've seen that, and but to me, it's great for starters. For people that's just starting out. You got everything up under one roof. You don't have to go around and search for customers. They're right there. You don't have to search for people to do swaps with. They're right there. Of course, you're going to have some swaps that are not good, and some swaps that are great, and some swaps that are mediocre. That's the business that we're in. You just can't really get around that. I mean, I've done swaps with people that I thought lists were pretty good and just didn't work out that well. And then certain people will surprise you. It's just the nature of the business. I don't concern myself about you know as far as the outcome of the as far as the outcome of the actual activity. What I concern myself with is the daily activity. Okay, and that daily activity for you, you know, should either be doing one or two swaps a day, or buying solos, or a combination of them both, to get you up to 100 clicks so that you can start consistently selling. You could kill it on safe swaps with 100 clicks. Now, once you start getting into the 200, 500,000 clicks, yeah, there's other places that you need to go, you know, to get a lot of buyers, for those higher clicks. But 100 clicks or below, you could crush it on safe swap, and you could build a serious foundation, and you could build up that customer base that could um, really help take your business to the next level. So I don't know if maybe you could let me know, or are you currently a member of Safe Swaps? Not anymore. Okay. Why not, Chris? Why aren't you currently doing any Safe Swap? Why why are you currently not a member of Safe Swaps, I should say? Because I think it would be great for you just to get your business some consistency that it needs. And you're not having to basically be all over the place. You're not all over the internet trying to find swap partners and um, sell solos and all that. You can do it all under one roof till you get comfortable there, get your business over to 100 clicks, and then kind of expand out from there. When you say there were a lot of people not swapping, um, did you kind of go through the numbers? Because what I did was every single day I would go through and I would just go through the numbers. I'd go through probably 25 people a day. Sometimes it's just about the numbers. You might not be hitting enough numbers. If you ask three people and three people turn you down, well, keep going. I would hit sometimes 25 people a day, to wind up with one or two swaps. And I would just keep doing that over and over till I get booked. And then you also have the resource of LPP as well. So I would do a combination of that as well. There's some people in here that will definitely swap with you, that are reliable, and you could do swaps with on a regular basis. So um, you just have to hit the numbers sometimes. It just takes consistency. Now, are you actually working your business consistently every day, or are you taking days off and not really putting a lot of effort in on some days? Because that's okay, but what we're going to try to do is just make sure you got some consistency going. So let's see. Some days, yeah. Yeah, what you just need is some consistency, Chris. You need some serious consistency in your business. And if you're spending an hour, that's that's what I did. I mean, initially, when I started out, you know, Now I might do a little bit more than an hour a day in my business because it's really starting to grow. But initially, I would put it 45 minutes to an hour a day into my business, and a majority of that time was put into SafeSwap. Okay. Um, Now, of course, now that my list has grown over time, then I don't have to do as much SafeSwap, but you gotta find one place that you're going to master initially to be able to get some swaps going. If you don't want to do the swapping, that's fine, but you're going to have to buy solos consistently to get that, because you got to make sure those fresh leads are coming onto your list on a daily basis. Even if you only have 10 leads or coming onto your list, and your list is growing slowly, you still got to have fresh leads coming onto your list on a regular basis. So if you can get that aspect of that going, you'll be well on your way. Just the consistency and just finding, if you're going to do Skype room, then become a master Skype room person and work on that. And look for swaps there, um, or buy solos or combination thereof. My list, um, right now, my list is, as of tomorrow, it'll be over 80,000 because I just purchased another list. So I went from, when I started out last August, I had about 1,000 people on my list, and here we are, almost a year later, and you're talking about it'll be over 80,000. Um, and that's just being consistent. It was slow for me in the beginning. It was very slow for me swapping. Um, but I was okay with that because I saw the progress happening every day. Even though my list wasn't growing like some people, maybe, I wasn't doing 50, 100 leads a day at that point, but I was getting some serious progress to me. You know what I mean? I saw it growing every single day, and I knew if I just kept up the activity and I got to the point where I could start selling and then start reinvesting back into my business and um, going through that 6 month building phase that Carlos kind of talks about. See, for me, like I talked about last month, this was a 12 to 18 month project for me. To get my business to the point where I could do 10, 12, $15,000 or more a month. So as long as I saw things progressing, then I was okay with that. And you can do the same thing. Um, Tomorrow night, Rick, we'll talk about purchasing lists. That's a little more advanced question, but yeah, I'll go over that tomorrow night. If you tune in tomorrow night, we'll go over that because that's a way that you can really get yourself to that next level. Um, because my list in the last couple months, my list was probably at around a couple months ago 20 something thousand, and now it's over 80,000 because I've purchased some lists. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't look at and they don't consider because a lot of people don't know how to do it or even know that that's really an option for them at this point. But that's definitely something that we can discuss tomorrow. Yeah, every list, I just don't buy lists, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But you got to be careful on who you buy lists from. Yeah, but let's get into that tomorrow night because that's a little more advanced. Uh, but you know, I think you guys could look at kind of my business, and you could say, hey, there's definitely hope for me because I started out very slow. I mean, a lot of people had really passed me by, and they were doing a lot more clicks, and they were selling a lot, and Dagan was sending them a lot of money, and you know, um, I just kept with it because I had a long term game plan, and I knew I wasn't putting 10 hours a day into this. You know what I mean? If I was putting 10 hours a day and I was getting those results, then, I would have been a little disappointed. But, putting an hour in a day, on average, that's not a lot of time to put into a business like this. And the great thing about list publishing is you can put that kind of time in, and over time you can get some great results. So now, okay, Chris. So I think at this point you should understand your next move. Um, you got to figure out what you're gonna, what you're gonna master. You're just gonna be in Skype rooms, or you're gonna try. If that's not working for you, you might want to look at something else. And if you're gonna do safe swaps, just you got to be aggressive with it. Whatever you do, you got to be a little more aggressive with it. Don't get discouraged. Just go through the numbers. If you're only talking to two or three people a day and you're not getting any swaps, then just go through more. You got to go through more numbers. Or you know, if swaps just kind of irritate you and you're not, and you're having a hard time finding swap partners, just buy solos, even if it's only 50 clicks a day or 100 clicks a day. Depending upon what your budget is. You're not that far away from, really being able to, and that's another thing. Safe swaps, you could sell on there. The 100 clicks, safe swap. I mean, you could go crazy with 100 clicks on there. I was selling 100 clicks every single day on safe swaps, pretty much, for a long time. So with the 100 clicks, you could kill it on there. So you gotta find a sweet spot for you where you can get some consistency going in your business and just kind of focus in one area. Because you got some people in LPP, they're really good at, you know, uh, Skype rooms, or they're really good at safe swaps, but most of them will tell you, they were good at one or the other first, and then they kind of expanded their business out, and then then they got into Facebook, or then maybe they got into Warrior Forum, and so I think for you, you just need some more. You just need a little more focus and consistency, and don't worry about the outcome. Just do the activity on a daily basis, and you'll get there. All right, so we'll go over the list tomorrow. Uh, Let me see. Do we have a question up here? 10. Can anyone post the link to join the webinar? Um, I'm sorry, Tan. Let me see here. Let me grab that link, guys. Hold on one sec here. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to grab the link. Okay. Okay, now my screen will. Okay, there we go. There. If someone has that link handy, if they could post that for the webinar. so that Tan can get on there. Um, I'm going to have to pause out. For some reason it's not letting me do it. Okay, Tan, you're on. Okay, good deal. All right. I just saw one of your posts there, and I wanted to make sure you weren't getting left out there. Okay. All right. So, okay. Thanks, Chris. So I think that at this point, Chris is okay. Now, um, anybody else? What we're talking about tonight, folks, is just kind of basic topics that can help you uh, get your business to that next level. Chris is still kind of in that basic area. I mean, he's still under 100 clicks, and we were helping Chris get to the point where he could at least get to 100 clicks so that he can get some consistency going. He can get his business going to that next level where he could start, making some consistent money and get some solos going and just kind of ramp his business up and take it to the next level. So the focus for you, Chris, has got to be, get your business over to that 100 clicks. You're not far away at all. You got to keep building that list consistently, though, on a daily basis, because if not, it's just, you're going to be at a standstill. And just, if you're at a standstill in your business, you're really just going backwards. So you're not that far away, my friend. If you just got to figure out, um, does this business model make sense to you? Like, I've had a lot of success offline in direct mail, and when I came online, it was a struggle for me, for a long time, for years. I met Dagan back in like '07, and I've been trying to do stuff online for years, without a lot of results. You know what I mean? I get a little results here and there, but spent more money than I've actually profited in most situations. And for list publishing, it made sense to me. It made a lot of sense to me, owning traffic, you know. And when you can get other people, other marketers, top marketers to buy from you, that's a big deal. That's a huge big deal. And the thing, in '07, when I really started, trying to figure this stuff out online, um, it wasn't as crazy as it is now. We're in this huge boom. We got all these programs out here, and people are looking for traffic like crazy. Everybody's searching for the gold in these programs, and we have the picks and shovels with the traffic, so we could just make a killing because everybody needs traffic. So you just have to remind yourself of this: is that this is really where it's at, because programs come and go, product launches come and go. Think about it. You got a program that's hot today, might not be hot 6 months from now. People will be in something else. You got a product that's hot today, might not be hot 6 months from now, or even a month from now. But for our business model, it stays the same because people are going to still be trying to get traffic to their offer. And guess what? We're right here. So if this model makes sense to you, you just gotta start to go hard. You know what I mean? A little harder. And you don't have to put 5-10 hours a week. I mean 5-10 hours a day into this thing. You just have to have some consistency. All right. Any other basic topics, folks? We have about 20 minutes here, and just kind of going through Chris's situation. And for you guys that came on late, what we're doing in this series of webinars, last month we kind of had topics already ready to go for you guys, but what I'm trying to do during this series is just see where your business is at right now. Tonight we're doing basic topics and see how we can help you. Because I know when I started out and I was struggling in certain areas, it was you know I, I I needed that lift. I needed that information that could help me get past a certain point. And I know some of you guys are just stuck. You're stuck at that, at a certain point. And the thing is, you can take your business to the next level. Some topics you're probably not ready for right now. You're probably like, well, that's I'm really not there. So I want to help you get to that point where you can get to that next level. So let's post a few things here. So I think we got Chris kind of going there. Let's see here. Let me do another post here. All right. Any other basic topics I can help you with tonight? Rick, Tan, everything's going great with you guys. I mean, you guys are at 100 clicks already. You're selling solos. I mean, where are you guys at in your business right now? What's kind of holding you back from taking your business to that next level? And you guys can just do a quick post in the Facebook group. I will check the question box on the control panel as well. Okay, so you guys must be doing okay. Rick, your business is growing, and Tan, you guys are growing right now. That's fantastic. All right, you're below 100 clicks. Okay. All right, how long have you been with LPP, Rick? Okay, you're getting a few subs every day. That's good. And how long have you been with LPP? Oh, here we go. Now you guys are coming with some good stuff. Okay. All right, I'm going to get to you guys. Let me just answer a few questions from Rick, and then we'll, Ray, and Guan, I'll get to you guys here in a minute. Okay, so you're getting leads from LPP. Now, are you doing swaps on a daily basis? Are you buying solos? Because one of the things you need to do um, outside of the leads that you're getting from Dagan is you need to be generating leads outside of LPP as well. Okay? All prepared last week, and now making bookings this week. Excellent, excellent. Just be consistent with that. Focus, focus on the activity and not on the results. Some people on there are not going to swap with you, especially when your list is small. Don't worry about it, because once you get to a certain level, you're not going to swap with everybody as well. Because there'll be certain people you're like, it's just not a fair exchange. I just can't do it at this time. But um, focus on the activity and go through the numbers. That's it. It's a numbers game out here. Okay, great, great. Yeah, and I think we talked about that on the one of our webinars. So that's great. Then next week, buy solos, one every week. Okay, that's good. And then you can get to the point where you can buy one every single day. Um, Even if it's small, 25 clicks, 100 clicks, 50 clicks. Um, what you want is that consistency, those new subs coming onto your list, because that's what's going to get your click count up on a on a regular basis, and get you to the point where you can hire sell a higher amount of solo ads. So that's good, Rick. It looks like you're on the right path there. So just um hold on, Rick. I'm sorry. Do you have any strategies to make a not so responsive people who buy into a more responsive list, generating some sales? Are you referring to affiliate sales, or are you referring to people that buy solo ads? Rick, I'm going to get the rest of you guys in just a sec here. Affiliate sales. One thing you got to understand about affiliate sales, and I had to understand this as well, folks. You gotta wrap your mind around this. Um, Affiliate sales are gravy, okay, so to speak. So um, they're the icing on the cake. Okay, what you're trying to do with your lists for LPP, or your list publishing list, is you're selling clicks. We're in the business of selling clicks. Now, if you get affiliate sales, that's icing on the cake. But our main source of income is going to come from selling clicks. That's why you have to generate leads on a daily basis. That's why you have to grow your list as big as you possibly can, so that you can get more clicks. Okay, so early on, I kind of struggle with that. With affiliate sales, I was like, I'm not getting as many affiliate sales. But then I had to just get to the point where I understood that, affiliate sales are not going to be the core of my list publishing business. Now, certain offers, Lewis has a great strategy for one of his offers, but it pulls very well. So not every offer is created equal. So Lewis has a strategy. If you look at one of Lewis's, I think it was his second webinar that he did last month, he has a offer called Plug in Profit that he does really well with. And I've had some affiliate offers that I do pretty decent with, but I still make a majority of my money through selling clicks with my solo ad business, because you got to understand, we're selling the clicks. We're not really building a relationship with these people. That's another business model. It's not like we're trying to get these people to know, like, and trust us. We're just trying to get them to click. That's it. And I struggle with that initially, but you got to wrap your arms around this and say, hey, this is the model. The model is to sell the clicks and the affiliate sales. Of course, you want to offer that converts well, but if you get caught up in and I got to make a ton of money in affiliate sales, sometimes that can be discouraging, and it can run you out of the business. So understand that part of it. Okay, you're not at the solo selling stage yet. Okay, how many clicks are you doing right now? One of the things I suggest to you, Rick, is you want to get to the solo selling process as fast as you possibly can. And that's great. You're going on the safe swaps. Be aggressive there. Buy solos. Even if on a daily, if you can't buy them on a daily basis like you're doing, buy them on a weekly basis. But get to the point where you can buy them. Even if you can't do every day, at least 2 or 3 times a week. Even if they're just small solos, where you're generating some leads and you got something happening outside of the leads that you're generating through LPP, you're going to grow twice as fast and you're going to get there faster. Okay, so that's what you need to do. I mean, you're headed in the right direction. Go on safe swaps. Go crazy. Try to get 2 swaps in a day. Buy solos, and then you get to that 100 click point. Start selling. Some people say sell at 50. You know what I mean? We were taught early on, 100 clicks and then start selling. So, um, that's kind of up to you on what you want to do. But you need to get to the point where you can start selling as fast as possible, because then you could start to really grow. Because as you sell, you can just put it right back into the business, and you can start buying even more solos. And then as your list grows and you start getting things going and you start selling a lot more solos, you can get into more advanced type of lead generation, where you can get to 100 leads and 200 leads, 300 leads, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's grab some of these other people. We got a few minutes left here, and I want to grab some of these other folks here. So you're headed on the right path there, Rick. Okay, Ray. Hi, Eric. If buyers asking for traffic stats reports before purchase, how do we go about to provide them screenshots of previous message, open rate, click-through rate, and after sending them out, he's asking for reports, just giving screenshots? Or I think your question is, what type of software do we use to do? Hold on, let me see here. Screen. American buyers are asking for. Now, I think you were asking, are they asking for screenshots of other solos that you have done? Let's see. How do we go about to provide them? Um, can you just clarify that a little more, Ray? Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. I think you're referring to uh, buyers that want actual proof of some of your previous um, solo ads that you have done, and they want screenshots of open rates and click through rates and all of that kind of stuff. Um, So if you could just clarify that, so I make sure that I'm giving you the correct information. I'll move on to Ann in the meantime, and then you can just do a quick post, and we'll get that question answered for you as well. I guess. Okay. All right. Well, you're referring to buyers wanting proof. Okay. Um, I me personally, um, my proof comes from testimonials. I don't know where are you selling solo ads at, Ray? Um, as far as screenshots of other people's um solos, or taking a screenshot of your own list. When you send out to your own list, I mean, you could do that. I've never really done that. Um, you know, like if someone is, like overboard on stuff, you have the choice of, do you want to deal with that situation? You know what I mean? Um, that's totally up to you. Like if I have someone that's just like totally overboard on things, I might not want them as a customer. But some people are different. You know, if they can't, because my thing is, look, you can buy 20 clicks off of me. You know what I mean? You could spend $10 with me. To just do a quick test. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to spend an hour with somebody that's never, not willing to spend $10 and buy a small solo ad off me. I mean, you know, so that's kind of how I think about things. You know what I mean? Clicks are so cheap. You like, if they just want too much information, and you got to spend a bunch of time trying to prove to this person, it's like, hey, dude, spend $10 with me, spend $20 with me. Um, I don't really send them, like, as an example, on my website. I have testimonials. Um, Occasionally, I'll get people that will ask, but I'm kind of skeptical of some of those people. Like I had a guy on SafeSwap. He sent me this long letter, man. And I mean, he wanted all of this information, right? So I sent him back a response. He wanted, I'm just thinking, like, dude, it's $20 for 50 clicks. I mean, he sends me this long paragraph of stuff, right? So I send him back a response, and then he comes back and he says, well, that's great, but what are you offering right now? And then he comes back, I want to see your offers, and I want to see this, and I'm just like, look, I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? Buy 50 kicks for $20, and let's move on, man. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like on my website, if you really need to test something, you need to test my list. It's $10 for 25 clicks. So my point is, if people need some basic information, you can get it to them, but don't let people stress you out and go overboard, because everything is about testing anyway. You know what I mean? I could send over some, I could send you over anything. I could even get a bunch of testimonials that are fake testimonials on my website. You still have to test the list, period. So whether you're buying solo ads, when you're buying solo ads, you got to test them all anyway. So, I just tell a guy, hey, look, if this is not adequate amount of information for you, then hey, just do a small test. And if they're not willing to do that, no problem. There's plenty of people out here. So don't let them stress you out with, trying to totally pull your list apart and be smarter than everybody else, because no matter what information someone gives you, you're still going to have to test it, period, at the end of the day. So I don't get into a lot of screenshots, what my list and all of that stuff, because the way I look at it is like, hey, buy something small from me and test my list out. Look at my testimonials. If you don't have testimonials yet, then they're still going to have to test from you anyway. So, you give them some basic information and just kind of move on. If they're not willing to do that after that, then, it's, don't get caught up in one customer. So hopefully that answered that for you, Ray. If not, we'll make sure that before we close out here, we'll finish that off for you. All right. And no, I didn't see the question below. I guess you didn't see the question. How many emails per day to your list have you found to be most effective? And do you send different types of messages at different times? Yes, and absolutely. I send out 2 messages a day to my list. I try not to do more. I mean, I've tested this in the past. I mean, I've went kind of crazy with my list before, because I, had the demand, and I had a lot of solos, that I had kind of overbooked for at one point. And over time, you'll learn how to manage this better. But I had sent out like 5 emails in one day, and get response gave me a warning, and they were like, "Hey, you're sending out way too many emails. If this happens again, we're going to suspend you, and possibly shut you down, and all this kind of stuff." So, I suggest that you kind of just stick to two emails a day, no more than that, because you can kind of get yourself in trouble with these autoresponders. And let's see, and I'll get that here in a second, Rick. Per day to your list, have you? Uh, yeah, so 2 a day. Yes, I send at different times. Now, everybody will tell you a different time. It just depends. Like, I've found for my list, like 1 a.m. works fantastic. And I'm talking about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, that works great. 6 a.m. is another time, and 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. works great. I know some people will tell you like 3 in the afternoon. That's never worked too good for me. You know, 9 o'clock or noon. That's never worked great for me. So you have to kind of test it and see what kind of works good for your list. But I've found the 1 a.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. to be great times. Let's see. We got a couple more questions here, guys. Finish this off. One sec here, guys. Let's get these other comments. Safe swaps, Erica. Let's see. How big of a list does it need to be to get 100 clicks? It's not always about the size of the list. It's about your swipe as well, and your ability to be able to generate leads on a daily basis. Okay, because those fresh new leads that you have coming onto your list, those are the ones that's more likely to click. Okay, so that's another reason why you want to have fresh leads coming onto your list, as many as possible on a daily basis. That's going to help your daily click total more than anything. Okay, so it's not necessarily the size of the list. It's those fresh subs coming onto your list on a daily basis. Oh, I'm sorry, Anne Marie. Forgive me. All right, Rick, I think this is probably going to be the last question here. From oh, this is something. This is a personal IM here. Okay. All right, Rick, I will get back to you on that, my friend. Guan says, just a thought, will safe swaps get saturated with us all crowding in there? No, not at all. There's tons of people on safe swap. So, no, not at all. Um, what you got to realize, Guan, out here, it's, the internet's a big world. And safe swap has, I don't know how many people they have coming on a daily basis, but it's quite a bit. They might have 100 new people coming on a daily basis, and they're looking for traffic. Some people are looking for swaps. So the home-based business industry is big. So no, there's definitely no shortage of people on SafeSwap, and it's not going to get overcrowded. And one of the things you got to realize too is that not everybody's going to take action. So you might have 50 people go on the safe swaps, but not out of those 50 people, not everybody's going to take the advice. Not everybody's going to be consistent. Not everybody's going to take massive action. Okay, so don't ever worry about whether something is going to be saturated or not, especially in list publishing, because like Dagan always says, there's there's actually more demand than they have list publishers out there, and good ones, because there's a lot of people out there that do list publishing, but not a lot of them are good. And you guys you probably already realized that, and that's in any industry. So um, don't worry about that. You're fine. Let's see. I forgive you, of course. Thanks, Ann. All right, Desmond. Skype rooms is not really my expertise. I've never really done swaps in Skype rooms, Desmond. Just to be honest and fair. You probably want to check with some of our other trainers. We're gonna have Luis, TJ, and you got Amber. as well. I think Amber does a lot of Skype room, and TJ, he's kind of all over the internet. So, um, and Luis, he's really good in Skype room. So, I would definitely ask that question to one of those guys because they do a lot with Skype rooms. I haven't done a lot with the Skype rooms. I've never really had to, but I know a lot of people are really good at it. Yeah, good question, Vincent. Is the niche on safe swaps only IM? Yeah, pretty much. It's IM. There are some people on there that are in the dating niche, so you can find those people as well. Maybe a few other niches on there, but for the most part, it is IM. Um, so hopefully that answered that for you. Okay, guys, any last questions on any basic topics before we close out here? And then tomorrow night we'll go over some advanced stuff. I know some of you guys wanted to know about buying list as well. That's a great way. You want to get to 100 clicks, you want to get to 200, 500 clicks. That's a great way to do it. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. All right, so I think that's probably it. Hopefully, we got a lot of questions answered for you guys tonight. Um, the main thing is, okay, I'll answer this last one, and then Guan will continue tomorrow night. My computer's just running a little bit slow tonight, folks, so bear with me. Ah, let me get back on Facebook here. All right, this will be the last one. How do we determine who to swap with? I've had a few requests, but they have no rep. Um, well, I go back to safe swaps. That's why I didn't mind paying the $29.95 or $29.99, whatever they charge on a monthly basis with safe swaps, because early on I swapped with other LPP members. Okay, why? Because at least you kind of know that they're doing some of the same things and where they're getting their leads from. Okay, so that's one thing that's one place that you can with other LPP members. You know what I mean? So and then safe swaps was good for me because then you could check out a person's reputation. Okay, you could at least check out their reliability. You could see if they had some good comments. You could just do a quick search on ad swaps, and you can see if they had testimonials, their reliability, their list size. All of those things were there for you. When you get out in the Skype rooms and you get out in the warrior forums and all of that kind of stuff, you know, you just kind of have to take a lot of people's word. At least here you have somewhere where you can kind of get some feedback from other members, in the forum, or you could also just kind of look at people's reputation and their reliability and their testimonials. Um, so I would go for LPP, and I would also go to safe swaps. Anywhere else, you're just gonna have to risk it, And plus, Juan, like I said before, you're not gonna win just like an advertisement in every solo. Not every solo is gonna be great. The thing is the consistency of the advertisement is where you win. It's the same thing with swaps. It's the consistency. You try to manage it as much as you possibly can, and there's things that you can look out for, especially on a platform like Safe Swaps. But even there, you're not going to always win. You're going to have situations where it's going to be uneven. And sometimes it might be uneven on your end, where somebody provided more clicks than you did. And then you got to, kind of match clicks with them and things of that nature. But I wouldn't focus mainly on that kind of stuff. I would focus on getting some partners. Some you're going to win, some you're not going to win. If you're not totally happy with your swapping, um, then go to solos. That way, you don't have to worry about finding a swap partner, and you can just, you know, buy clicks. You know what I'm saying? So there's a downside to swapping, because, you just don't know what you're going to get sometimes. Especially, if you're outside of places like SafeSwap where you really can't, get a person's background. You can ask other people, but, you still never know. You know what I mean? And I know guys out there in the industry that I brought a solo from before, and it was great. I go back and buy a solo from them, and they burn me the second time. And then they start burning a lot of people. You know what I mean? So I mean, some of this stuff you just can't worry about. You just got to be consistent with your activity. That's why we talked about last month the Mental Wealth Foundation and having that daily plan of action to be able to um, just focus on the activities, not worry yourself to death about the results. Because if you do that, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Because this thing is all about momentum and building momentum, over time. And it's just like pushing a ball or, snowball up a hill. Initially it's going to be very, very hard. But once you start getting near the top and then you get to the top and then you just push it, that thing rolls right downhill. So that's kind of like your business. Just focus on what you need to do on a daily basis, and everything else will fall into place. So with that, folks, I think we're going to end the webinar for tonight. We went about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Um, you guys have been great. Thank you for the good feedback. Tomorrow we're going to get into some more advanced topics that can help you take your business to that next level. So we'll talk about that. And, the purpose of these trainings is just to really help you get out of that ditch and get to the next level. Because we all get to the point sometimes where we're stuck. And there's no reason for you guys to get stuck. You got people right here at LPP. I don't know of any other group or format out there that's teaching this kind of stuff. That's why I hopped all over it because I was very interested in the solo ad business, but I didn't see anybody out there teaching anything on it. So to be able to have a group that Dagan and Jason and that put together like this, you know, it's amazing. It's a great thing because this is a awesome business model, and if you just take it seriously, put in some consistency on a daily basis, get you a daily plan of action, and focus in on the basics. Forget about what everybody else is doing. There's going to be people that's going to be doing that's going to move faster, and that's fine. Because everybody comes in at a different level. Some people have more leads, some people have more money to put into the stuff. Don't worry about that. Just focus on generating leads on a daily basis, whether it's through swaps or solos, outside of what you're getting from LPP, and then try to get your list to 100 clicks as soon as possible so that you can start selling solos. And then invest back into your business. I invest 100% right back into my business right now. And you consistently do that, and then I'll show you a strategy tomorrow night where you can get there even faster. Okay? Where you can guarantee yourself 100 clicks or 200 clicks or 500 clicks. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Also, if you have some other advanced topics that you want to go over, this is the format to do it, folks. So I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and all the great posts and questions. And we'll be here tomorrow night again at 8:30. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Talk to you tomorrow night. Have a good night.